Hey guys, the game has changed. As you would have saw when I did the intro, I talked a little about what's happening in the market and about being ready for coming out of that curve and trying to assist you wherever you are in the way you think about the market and the way that we're going to move forward. And one thing that's been ringing in my head non-stop the last few weeks is that people still have not realized that the game has changed. You know, we know from a surface level that the sales market has dropped. And that we can no longer do auctions the way that we do auctions, that we can no longer do open homes the way we do open homes. And if you look at the way that we're selling projects right now, it has really revolutionized the way that we're doing things, and we're willing to be in front of these things. And here at Baldwin & Co, this is what we mean by high-level thinking and solution-based content, is constantly strategizing and being in front of the market. You know, the best in the market are those that have the vision to see things come to pass in different ways. You know, it got me thinking about people like Blockbuster. Growing up as a kid, you know, you go down to get a DVD or a cassette with your mum and dad and some M&Ms and Maltesers on a Friday night or whatever, and go down the road and get the best deal. And Blockbusters just did not evolve. You know, and then Netflix came along and they just took the market by storm because they had vision for the future. They had vision for the change in what was to come. And that's what you want to pioneer in, you know, and you want to be thinking in that way and be on your toes and constantly moving and pivoting to be thinking not about what's happening right now, but what is constantly changing in the future. And so thinking about the current state of marketing and sales right now, how do we adapt in the current COVID-19 conditions to become a front runner coming out of this whole thing in the next 6 to 12 months? Who knows how long this may take? So that's what you need to start doing. Whether you're at home, whether you're on Zoom, or you're doing Skype meetings with the guys and girls at work and starting to unpack, you know, what the next project looks like, you need to start to think about, you know, how are we going to communicate with our buyer? How are we going to get in front of them? Who is that potential new buyer? Because people are losing their jobs. People have changed the way that they're buying. They've changed their habits, you know. And we've talked a little about those things in little sort of snippets of what we've been showing you so far. But we really need to start to think about, you know, what this is going to look like for the industry, how we're going to move through it. And that's what really I'm doing right now. I'm starting to think about how we're going to bring the future project to the market. We're looking at projects across Melbourne right now, whether it's the inner east ring and down near the ocean. We're looking at multiple opportunities for our vendors and clients about how we're going to bring them to market in the near future. And so we've got to start to unpack with them and with our team on the way we look at it. So, you know, we spoke about months ago about who that vendor would be and who would the purchaser, what do they like? What do they want in the project? How they're going to live their life? And that is really an important thing right now. One thing I can say right now is that I personally believe will be a huge indicator on a development moving forward is security. We've talked for a long time now about security and about, you know, people with home invasions and so on, and people getting really concerned and genuinely worried about their safety. And coming from a large home with multiple access points, windows and doors on multiple levels, and you know, people are concerned lying in bed at night on how they're going to, how do I sleep? You know, is someone going to come and take something from you? They're going to break in. So I really do believe one of the ways that we can start to think, and this is only one of multiple things that we're looking at, you can start to think about informing in your developments, is security. Not just security at the front door with a camera and a swipe card like buildings of the past or of the present that we're in right now, but buildings of the future. And when I say the future, tomorrow, they can be impacted by this by bringing in very intelligent people. We use atmosphere design, which I've mentioned in previous shows, to bring in the latest in security and technology to give people the peace of mind at home that when they're at home or whether they're on holiday or they're down the beach home or they're asleep at night in the home, they've got all of those things available to them in their apartment that makes them feel more secure than ever. And to some people, that's luxury. To some people, that is a way that is part of their way of life and having a piece of life, if you want to put it. So, and when we unpack luxury in another conversation, we'll talk about the fact that luxury just isn't the watch that you wear or the clothes you put on every day. That's a form of luxury. But the luxury that we constantly are talking about in tomorrow's luxury living, we had Adam on recently talking about induction cooktops and so on. It's also a lifestyle. and the way people want to live and the way they want to position themselves in developments. So I'm not going to go on too much, but this is a really quick little episode that we've put together for you, just talking about the game has changed and what are you doing about changing your game in your business that's going to come out of COVID-19 into a whole new level for the marketplace and go, wow, those guys really didn't muck around when people were sitting down at home. They were innovative, they were thinking outside the box, and they were changing the game.